Good morning, you guys. Welcome to day 7 of our sourdough starter series. Today we are just going to be feeding our starter just like we did yesterday. It's a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio. So today we're going to be using 200 grams of starter. You're going to do 200 grams of flour, rye or wheat, whatever you're using. Some of you are using all-purpose. And 200 grams or 200 milliliters of water. Lukewarm water, and you want to use distilled if you're on city water. I am using my well water and it's working perfectly. Some of you are struggling with your starter not responding, still not reacting. Make sure you're keeping it warm enough. Also make sure that you're using filtered water if you are on a city water, and also make sure that if it's not working for you, or like somebody said that their starter is really watery, this is why a scale is important. I can't emphasize what a difference this makes versus using measuring cups. So if you're noticing that your starter is just not looking like everybody else's and you're using measuring cups, then your 1-to-1-to-1 ratio might be really off. So I would suggest picking up a cheapy scale, Amazon, $10. This one's literally $10. I will try to leave a link. I actually, over on my Amazon storefront, I have a new section for sourdough. So I'm gonna list all the things that I use for my sourdough. So anytime you wanna know what tool I'm using, personally using, because quite frankly, I buy most of my things on Amazon because I live out in the middle of nowhere. I don't have stores near me. My nearest Bed Bath & Beyond is 45 minutes away. So it's just easier for me to get on Amazon and have it shipped to my house in 2 days. So, okay, so before we get into the feeding, many of you wanted to know what tools you guys need to get so that in a couple of days you have them on hand and you'll be ready to make bread. This is what I've been using. Many of you asked me about the baskets. These are baskets for sourdough. This one, along with the blade, this is a razor blade that you can slice into your bread and make beautiful decorations on sourdough and all of those things. This blade and this basket, along with, it's not this one, I think the other one is in the washer, but one very similar to this, it's a plastic scraper, dough scraper to get dough out of your bowl. Also, you can cut your dough and slice it in half with the other end. It came all 3 pieces, $13 from Amazon. You can't beat that. You won't be able to find this in a store. At least I haven't been able to. So I will leave a link to this kit for $13. Now, it might go up because you know how Amazon is. Sometimes their prices go up, sometimes they go down, but I paid $13 for this set. This set was gifted to me by my girlfriend Mandy over at More to Life. So, but I will leave a link to this one as well. So you can get all different shapes, sizes. You can get baguette ones. I mean, depending on what you want to bake, right? The sky's the limit. So you're also going to want like a bench knife. Okay, whether it be a plastic one or a metal one. And this I use to cut dough, scrape dough off of my countertop, all of those things. That's pretty much it. What I bake in, right over there, and I'll just spin you over there, those are enamel heavy cast iron Dutch ovens. That's what I use. You can also use the insert to a crock pot. As long as you have like a lid. If you don't have a lid, you can put a cookie sheet in the oven and put water in it. Some people throw ice cubes at the bottom of their oven just to create steam. But if you have a lid, it's even better because it traps the steam for sourdough and really helps to bake it. So that is it. I will leave links to this in my Amazon storefront. In fact, I'm just going to leave my Amazon storefront link. You guys can click on that and you guys will be able to see all things sourdough that I have listed there, including my jars that I use, okay? All right, so I'm not gonna be Chatty Cathy today. I'm gonna spin you guys around. We're gonna feed our, okay, so there's my jar. I've already gone ahead and tared it. I want you to see my starter, what it looks like today. And it's a very bubbly and beautiful inside there. You can see that. See, that's a very spongy, It's getting very spongy now. It's starting to smell better, less like vinegar, but it's still kind of on the vinegar-y side, just slightly. Sourdough is good and ready to use in about 7 to 10 days. It all just depends. So personally, I'm not ready to use this pour off yet. So I will be discarding it, but I'm hoping probably by Saturday, this is gonna be good to go for me. So, yeah, it's just, it's starting to get more of a yeasty smell, but it has ever so slightly still a vinegar scent. So, I am not ready to use that yet. All right, so in the jar it goes. 200 grams of starter. Again, though, if you're struggling with your starter not looking like it should or smelling like it should, or it's, you know, too watery or too dry, you might need to start weighing your ingredients if you're not. But, you know, that's why we have the Facebook club. So you can hop on over there and post a picture so others can see what you got. Okay, so there's 200 of the starter. So now we're gonna add 200 grams of flour. So I'm going to tear that. There we go. All right, so 200 of the whole wheat flour. Okay, now we're going to do 200 grams or 200 milliliters of lukewarm water. There we go. All right, so let's take it off and spin you around over here while I stir it. All right, so there we have that. All right, I'm gonna lift you up and let you see what mine looks like inside. Okay, and then you can see it there. Okay. So there you have it. So I'm going to loosely put that lid on, and it's going to sit inside of my box. And then I'm going to go ahead and feed Walter and take his pour off and use him to bake more bread. And then here's the bread that I baked yesterday. This is the salted, which is just beautiful. And then the everything bagel. And the crumb on this is just beautiful. And so I've been using, this is a recipe that came from I Love Ireland Cooking. And his name is Patrick. And this is the, I will share this though with you when we go ahead and make bread. And I will leave the link to his channel when we're ready to do that. So, all right guys, I hope this has been helpful to you. I really am hoping that this series has been a joy for you to watch. I can't thank you guys enough, and this is why I'm on YouTube. I love you guys. I love this community that we've built, and this has been a lot of fun for me. So, all right, I will see you guys tomorrow when we feed our starter again. Same thing, 200, 200, 200, and in a few days we'll be able to bake some bread. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Okay, guys, so I'm butting in here at the end. I want to thank the user, Oh Canada Standing Guard. They left me a great comment about using a baker's conversion chart. Now, you guys know when we first started making sourdough, I've really been talking a lot about why a kitchen scale is so important to use, especially for something like building a starter, because the 1-to-1-to-1 ratio is so important. Flours all weigh differently. So whole wheat flour is going to weigh a little different than rye. It's going to weigh a little different than bread. It's going to weigh a little different than all purpose. So depending on what flour you're using, it is going to affect, if you're using a cup measurement, it's going to possibly affect your starter because your ratios may be off. They mentioned using a baker's conversion chart. So you're going to want to Google that, a baker's conversion chart. And depending on what flour you're using, you're going to want to get the proper measurement if you're using it in cup form. This is why that's why I'm weighing my my ingredients and going by grams, because it's the most accurate way to get that 1-to-1-to-1 ratio that you need for a happy and healthy starter. If you are not using a kitchen scale and you are adamant about using a measuring cup, you are going to want to look for a baker's conversion chart to know exactly how much of a cup measurement you're going to use. Now, I have just been giving you guys basics because some of you, quite frankly, got really angry and like threatened to unsubscribe, and that I was going to lose all my followers if I you know, didn't do it the American way and go buy cups. I mean, it really got it got a lot of it got deep for a lot of you who were really angry about having to get a scale and weigh your measurements. But this is why, because some of you are really struggling with your starters. They're not taking off, they're not getting bubbly, some are too watery, some are way too thick, and I think it might be because of the measurements being off. So that's why I wanted to mention that again. And depending on what flour you're using, you're going to want to look into the baker's conversion chart and see how much you're supposed to be using. I've been giving you basics just for those of you who were really angry at me for using grams, but this is why I'm using grams. And you know, I want you all to be successful. I really do. I really encourage you guys to just spend $10 and get a kitchen scale. It's not hard. I've been showing you guys for the past week now how easy it is to actually weigh out your ingredients. And you know, my whole goal is to start baking really beautiful loaves of bread. I mean, I think I've been doing pretty well for the past 5 years, but I really want to up my game. I really want to learn how to do it properly, or more accurately, I should say. And so this is the way that I'm going to be doing that. And so this is my journey, of course, that I'm just filming and sharing with you guys. You don't have to follow me, but it's, you know, reading through my comment sections on, you know, people that are struggling. I mean, I don't know how else to help you guys other than to say, get a kitchen scale and do it the way that I'm doing it so that you can have a beautiful starter too. I just want all of you guys to be successful, and I don't want you to be frustrated, and I don't want you to throw in the towel and think that this is too hard, because you guys have been seeing what I've been doing. It's really not hard. So anyway, I just wanted to add that, and I wanted to thank O Canada for leaving me that comment and talking about that conversion chart, so that you guys can research that and look that up. So, all right guys, I will see you tomorrow.